alma te hable. En el silencio se encuentra la verdad, solamente respira. Te hable. En el silencio se encuentra la verdad, solamente respira. Eres uno con el universo, eres amor. Oh, eres uno con el universo, eres amor y no el universo.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is episode 25 of the Wachama podcast. Our guest today is Eduardo Carvalho. Most of the podcasts, at least one time in their life, touched the topic on psychedelics and more specifically ayahuasca. And today we have Eduardo as a guest who works for the Mother Ayahuasca. Can you explain us what does that mean to work for the Mother?
That's a good question. First of all, thank you for inviting me here. It's really a pleasure to be here. And it's nice to see that you are doing good works as well. So yeah, thank you for that. What does it mean to work for the Mother? Well, for me, on a personal level, at this moment in my life, it means everything. It means that I can be of service of a greater work in this planet and raising consciousness and helping other people achieve their greatest potential. And for me, what the Mother has done for me was that she could unblock all those things that were stopping me from reaching my greatest potential as a human being as well, and to give me different insights about life, about this life, past lives, about my family line, opening me up into different, possibilities in this planet, and to use my gift, which is music, to help other people to find that sacred space within them, where they can also heal themselves. Because ultimately, we are all healers. I don't consider myself a healer.
Yeah.
I'm just a vehicle for other people to get healed. So the plants come through me as I make my connections to the higher realms and the plants, so that other people can heal themselves.
You were playing in bands for many years.
Mm-hmm.
How did it start?
Oh.
So you were playing in rock bands, right?
Yeah, rock, and then also reggae, street performances, playing also percussion with DJs or live acts with singing, every type of stuff, considering music and arts and entertainment. And I started in a very young age. I was like 14 years old, and two of my best friends at the time, they're still my best friends, just we went on different ways, but it was funny because they wanted to form a band together. And and they heard that I know how to play guitar, I know how to play a song, and they invited me to their place to try out, and I did, and I said, yeah, awesome, man, you are in the band. So then we started from scratch. We didn't. We were not educated musically per se.
Yeah.
So we just went and bought our first acoustic guitars and trying to play this song and that song and that song, and learning chords here and there. And obviously this was different times. There was no YouTube teaching classes, or information wasn't so available like it is nowadays. So yeah, we just carved through. We paved our own way.
Yeah, and you also used your instinct or inner, I don't know, guide to learn your feelings.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And also exercise the art of listening, because in music one of the most important things is your hearing.
Yeah.
When you fine tune your hearing, like you can hear a song and you can play it like 5 minutes later. So that was something that we really had to work on, and and I'm glad that it was that way. So because it made us really excel ourselves, as in, I want to play this song. I want to listen to this song 100 times until I can finally play it.
Yeah.
And so it was so much that we that was 23 years ago.
Yeah. Wow.
And from that then we got bigger, and then we recorded, we played festivals, we toured, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then
fast forward almost 20 years, something happened.
It's a long road, man. It's a long road, because any type of arts and culture type of profession per se, it's not an easy road. You really have to be persistent and to believe in what you do. Especially for us, back on the time, we were more into original type of music. We were never that type of cover bands. There was a million of cover bands playing, and they would play every week, and we would play maybe once a month. But that once a month that we played was our bunch of songs, and people came because of our songs and our energy and the concerts and stuff. So it was more special per se.
Yeah.
So I'm proud of that we could achieve, just to keep our, how can I say, our musical integrity.
Yeah. So you were also playing from the heart to share some good vibes instead of just aiming for the attention and all of the, the more superficial way. Yeah.
Absolutely. And then part of that was to play what's in our hearts.
Yeah.
Rather than play, covers from bands everybody knows. We're just like, okay, this is what we as human beings, this is what we have in our souls.
Yeah.
So we're gonna transpose this to music and share it with you live. And then we started to get some sort of a following, slowly but surely. It happened.
Okay. And you went on this road for 20 years almost, and then something happened. At what stage were you in your life? Were you satisfied with playing in the band at that moment, when the shift started?
Yes and no. It's two sides to that coin. Because it was wonderful years, of music and traveling and being on the road and meeting all these amazing people, and it was a lot of growth, personally, professionally, as human being as well. But it got to a point where it all got a bit too much, as in partying and traveling and not being faithful to girlfriends and stuff like that. And I kind of got to a point of I need to stop this for a minute to find other things in life. So that's when I stopped being with my last band. I said, guys, we are friends for life. There's no doubt about that. But at this moment, I need to find other things that make me. I need to find other things to give me this joy that I lost of playing music. I kind of lost it a little bit. Then it came together with problems with relationships with my friends as well, because we were on the road 24/7 pretty much, and everything just got one. This was a big snowball that was growing and growing and growing, and then it's all good. I'm really happy for it. I don't regret anything. It was just the road that we had to lead.
Yeah.
And that road brought me where I am today. So I could only be thankful for that and learn the lessons and try to move on with my life.
Okay, so you stopped with the band,
Mhm.
and then you started to search for some other things, or first you met the mother, let's say. What was the chronological order?
So the thing was when I stopped with this latest band, then I moved out of the country and I went traveling and just working regular jobs just to keep things going. And I did that for 3 or 4 years without playing in any bands, no live performances. It was some sort of an hiatus. And although I always had my guitar there because the guitar needs to be there, or in this case there. I needed to find out who I am without being in the band. Who am I as a person? And I found out different things about me that I didn't know. And it's always positive when you get to that point where you can rediscover something else. And I did. And
what did you do specifically to enhance this search for your inner self? Did you go to meditation retreats or some these Santiago de Compostela, this kind of stuff?
Yeah, I didn't go there, but one thing that I did, I took a course on Transcendental Meditation in Amsterdam back 4 years ago, and that kind of shifted my energy as well, and started to go more, instead of going to festivals or big concerts or something, I just went to smaller, more conscious events and meeting just beautiful people and people that live from the heart, and that kind of shifted my energy levels as well.
Okay, and you also started to practice daily some kind of meditation?
Yeah. I do it twice a day, every day.
Okay, cool.
It helps me rediscover other parts of myself that I didn't know, because everything we need is inside of ourselves. We don't need any external thing to achieve anything. We are perfect as we are, just as we live and we go through society and life and work and relationships and all that kind of stuff. We get lost in our minds.
All of these layers are coming to fit in, try to fit in.
Yeah.
Because also the consumerist society is all about kind of generating that I need this, I need that, I need to have certain things to be whole as a person. And it's very hard to kind of zoom out and see that maybe it's not the way, but the way is much more simple.
Absolutely, man, because we are bigger than we can ever comprehend fully. And the society that we live today makes us feel small, as in you have to do this to achieve, you have to achieve this so that you are somebody, or you have to have this amount of money in your account, or you have to have that big of a house, you have to have that big of a car, or it's not that. It's not about materialism, it's not about social status, it's not about anything. It's about who you are inside and what you have in your heart and what you share with people, and your capacity of sharing love. And that's what matters.
I also figured out on a way that it's good to hack all the biohacking stuff and be the in the more the personal development part when you are the best of the best, but in the end, what is that for? If you don't know the way how to share your love with the world, then there's no point to be the best or whatever, to dominate others.
No. I think the point is to be the best you can. Every day. And once you understand that, then you'll stop just judging other people or competing with other people. I don't care. I mean, if you're the best, great, awesome, and that's that. I just try to be the best as I can. Of course, I'm always in my process. Things they don't change.
Everybody is always. There is no such a thing like we stop our process.
Yeah. Because the moment you think that okay, this is it, I achieved it, I don't have to do anything else, this is what I need to be, that's the moment when you start decaying or start going down. because this is an ongoing thing until you die. You will always have some more things to learn about yourself and the world.
So, get into more practicalities with the mother. How when you started to, let's say, work for the mother, because it's okay. The work is also such a word that is kind of
Yeah, but it's some sort of work.
I mean, But how did that start? So you went to the TM, the Transcendental Meditation course, and then was still another lead to where you heard about the ayahuasca, or I don't know.
Yeah. So the TM course, that was a turning point. It was definitely a turning point, because then I started to feel myself differently, and music differently, and the world and the people and the animals and the planet itself. And then I was with a girlfriend at the time. I was living in Amsterdam, and we broke up. But before we broke up, forgot. This came actually as a birthday present, because I've tried many things, and because I needed to sort something inside of myself that I didn't even know what was it. But ayahuasca really showed me what was that. And so this came as a birthday present from her, and I'm eternally grateful to her. Thank you. And so I went to do one ceremony with a mestizo shaman, and turned out that one ceremony wasn't enough. Because when you do some ceremonies for the first time, sometimes the first ceremony you don't get what you're supposed to get, or whatever is that supposed to mean. We always get what we need anyway. But so I did one ceremony, and that wasn't enough. I was like, there's gotta be more.
Yeah.
So then I did the second ceremony, and
right after the next day.
Yeah. So after the second ceremony, this whole new realm of opportunities, or this whole different world came up, and I was fully in the realm of Mother Ayahuasca. And then I was like, wow, where was I all this time? All this beauty and information, and all this self rediscovery sort of thing. All these things that popped up in me, that I could see them, they were like in front of my face, and I was like, yo, there's more. There is more. I traveled through dimensions. I had these entities that came to me, intelligent entities that came to me and spoke to me. I opened up because I had I was going through some writer's block. I was always a original music writer, as you know.
Okay.
And I was going through a block. I couldn't write music. I was just like, I couldn't do anything. So and what ayahuasca provided for me was, she opened that door of creativity. She opened my mind, she opened my heart, and she put my feet on the ground, and she let me see, who am I, like, for real.
Okay.
Because although I might have thought that I knew all those years past, I kind of knew. I didn't really know until she really opened that possibility of like, hey, this is you. So and if you can, and if you're smart enough, just use your gift to help other people as well. And that's what I did. And after that I went to Peru.
For one moment, for the listeners who are not familiar with the brew itself,
Sure.
Can we explain what ayahuasca is? Just shortly.
Yeah, sure. Well, ayahuasca, it's a brew from the Amazon. It's a mix from capi vine, Banisteriopsis capi, and chacruna leaves. Together they form this sacred marriage, and they provide expansion of the mind, opening of the heart. They help you heal many things, many ailments from different kinds, from depression to traumas, from your childhood, from it shows you a different realm of possibilities. That's the main thing. And for me on a personal level, what she did, she redesigned my life.
Yeah, because we also have to add it that people, when they drink this brew, they encounter an entity, which is, we don't know exactly who is that. Maybe it's the inner, the bottom of your soul, or maybe it's the higher consciousness of the universe. I don't know. Whoever knows it, I don't know. But
yeah, it's you find so many different things in there. It's a beautiful spirit, and so this is the brew is traditional from the Amazon forest, and she's not alone. She's the mother of all plants, and she comes with an army of plants to heal you. Sorry, and her main purpose is to help mankind and the planet itself. And on these times of massive industrializing of this world, I mean, this is we're coming in times where business and money are in charge, and politics and the big corporations, and the Amazon is on fire, and there's all these things that she's trying to help mankind with.
yeah.
So actually my biggest intention is to get as many people to do this as possible, because this opens a different consciousness, and everything changes, man. There's a big shift in your spirit per se, and on your mind, and on the way you see the world, and the way that you interact with other human beings, with animals, with plants. There's a more respect for life in itself. So for me, the ayahuasca she's kind of the savior of this planet, and it helps you deeply.
Also on an individual level, like to see those lost souls who don't know what is the next step, or they almost on the they are burnout, they have a burnout or whatever, but also on a collective level.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, they say if you want to change the world, you should start by changing yourself.
Yeah.
And this is all energy and frequencies and vibrations. So once you change yourself, your energy will change. Therefore, your frequency as well. So that will go into the ether.
Yeah.
And that will change the world, because
Kind of creates this ripple effect.
exactly.
Yeah.
So one by one, we can help and turn this around. It's not easy, but because a lot of people are afraid to look inside of themselves.
Yeah.
And this is the key to ayahuasca, is to really have the courage to go deep inside of yourself and see what's in there. We all have darkness. We have darkness and light. We all have it. So it's the capacity for one to go within himself and face the darkness and remove what no longer is serving him or her. And and try to stay in the light and carry on your path and help as many as you can on your way.
Cool.
Yeah, man.
So the next step that you went to Peru.
Yeah, Peru. I went to Peru in 2016. That was a big adventure for me, because so I've done my first retreat here in Holland for the first time, and the same people that were organizing, they were organizing as well in Peru, and I just went there with a lot of hope to turn things around.
Yeah.
Because at that point I'd lost my girlfriend, my apartment, my job. I was like, what else is there, you know?
Yeah.
So I just kind of picked myself up, and I just kept on going, man. Just keep going. Doesn't matter. The amount of pain that I was experiencing back then was unbearable.
Okay.
I was not myself anymore. I was just like, I couldn't. It was too much.
So that pain was because of you faced all of these possibilities, and that you realized that how lost were you?
So I had the first 2 sessions, and then like 2 months later, me and my girlfriend broke up.
Okay.
And then 3 weeks later, I lost my job. Then
Okay.
a week later, I had to move out of the house. So
Okay.
it was like
Yeah.
ping, ping, ping. I was like, why? But only to find out that everything is in divine order.
Yeah.
That was meant to happen that way. So, but I couldn't understand it at the time, because I was like, why are all these things kind of happening at the same time? Only to find out that we are ultimately responsible for everything that happens in our lives.
Yeah.
Although you may think like, why is this happening to me? Why is that happening to me? Or No, you are happening to yourself at all times. So what you put out, you get, and probably I was not on the right energy back then.
And blame doesn't work.
Yeah, for nothing, because but it's all part of the process. I'm really, really happy for that.
Yeah.
So then after that, after all these things happened, I went into this sort of depression. I think I didn't recognize it as such back then, but I was just very sad very often. So then I decided to go to the jungle.
Okay.
And I went there with a lot of faith and hope, and I went there, with the hope to change things, because up until that point I've tried everything.
Yeah.
And then I had like ups and downs, and I could never find really a steady place where things would flow for me the way I wanted. So the jungle was like my last resort.
Okay, and what did you do in the jungle?
Man, turns out I didn't went only to the jungle. I went everywhere.
Yeah.
That was just an excuse. The jungle.
Yeah.
Because from there I jumped into other dimensions and other realms of existence. And,
but you signed up for a dieta.
I signed up for a dieta. Yeah. So I stayed 2.5 weeks in Pucallpa.
2.5 weeks.
In the jungle. Okay. Yeah. And that just completely changed everything. Because of course, they always say don't bring expectations, and just come in blank, and just come and just sit there and get what you need to get. But obviously, unconsciously, you always have expectations, because this is a trip of a lifetime. You go there in order to change your life.
Yeah.
So it's you're nervous, you don't know what's gonna happen, and but at the same time it's super exciting. So I went there. The first ceremony was okay, but it was quiet per se. And then again, the second ceremony was just like an atomic bomb. It was like boom. Man, it changed everything. My perception of the world. Everything I thought it wasn't. Or it was close, but it wasn't exactly what I thought it was. And that came to everything, to myself as a person, and situations that I went through life, and with my family, and growing up as a kid, and being in the band, and my best friends, and some pets that I had, or some plants that my mom had, or all these things. They were all put there to guide me.
Yeah.
I understood why my mother is my mother. I understood why I chose this family. I understood I understood why my older brother was my older brother, still is my older brother. I understood why I play music, and I understood why I stopped playing music for a while. I understood why that relationship didn't work. I understood everything. I was just like, wow, yeah, sure, absolutely. And was that shift on the way I perceived the world, and the understanding that I had prior to ayahuasca.
Yeah.
That just like everything made sense, perfect sense. And I'm forever grateful. It was not a walk in the park, because in there it's.
So what can people expect? I guess some of the listeners or viewers will have never experienced it, but what are the symptoms? What you can feel besides seeing other realms and other universe, and your inner deepest depth of your soul? What other symptoms can people experience in a ceremony?
Symptoms, well, physical symptoms. You can you will feel nauseous, very nauseous. You can purge or vomit, for the ones who understand the word purge. Not necessarily. Some people purge, some people have diarrhea, some people sweat, some people cry, some people laugh, some people scream, some people kick, some people jump. But it's all for the greater good. There's no it's like you might feel like you're going to die, but you are not going to die.
We can also say that there's a sort of cleansing process.
Absolutely.
Right.
in every level, physical level because of the diarrhea and the sweating and the purging, and also energetical level, spiritual level, because you might have entities attached to you that you don't even know. I mean, most of human beings in this world, in this society, they carry entities, because entities are out there. They just attach to you in the various forms. You know, some cannot cross over to the higher realms, and they have unfinished business in here, and they can attach themselves to you. Or some come through food, some come through any kind of drugs or prescription drugs as well, or alcohol, or foods that you eat as well. Some energies cross from father to son to grandson to. It's a genetical thing, so a lot of things can be passed on to you that you are not even aware. So this type of medicines, they provide you the ability, when you drink it in a ceremony context, specifically with a shaman. I'm full-on shaman type of ceremony, because this is plants. They are live spirits, live in different realms. But that's something that it's on. So the shaman guides you through that process of releasing things that no longer belong to you. And activate the plants and the power of the plants. And the shamans, they have to diet many years in the jungle in order to be able to make this connection to the plants and to the higher realms. So all in all, the jungle is just kind of a regenerator, re-empowering, reassuring who you are and who you are not.
So it's also like a big mirror of yourself.
Yeah, it can be scary, man. You're just looking at yourself like, okay, that's me.
But the work, because they also say, also in Spanish, is trabajo, right? It's not only done during the ceremony, it's also prior and afterwards, right?
Yeah.
Ideally.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's the whole thing, because the ceremony is not only the ceremony. This is a ceremony. Life is a ceremony, and that's just a break from the ceremony. So the ceremony is actually a break from the ceremony. So when you go, depends if you go and do a diet, it's a different thing. Depends how long you want to go for diet. The minimum is 2.5 weeks. Then some people stay for a month, or for 2 or for 3. You can diet for as much as you feel you need. So the preparation for it is super important. Because it's the more you are set in yourself, the better you will work, or the most benefits you will get from the plants. And the plants there, they know, they are here right now. You cannot see them, but they are here right now. They know everything you do. And if you prepare yourself and you commit yourself to this work, then the plants will devote themselves also to you. So it's a matter of
intention and commitment.
Absolutely. So the more you devote yourself, the more you will have back for a better result for your mission of finding other things.
And the switch was that you're gonna work for the mother was after this dieta?
Yeah. It was incredible, because this was never the plan. Then again, plans, and life comes, and there's another plan. It's funny, because I went there to find deeper truths and to help myself, and to basically just to redirect my life in every level. It's kind of like coming back from the ashes type of thing. And it kind of happened, it really happened. I brought my guitar, and because I always bring my guitar wherever I go, so I brought it. And turns out that at the end of the ceremonies, then the ceremony was over, and then I would play a couple songs in the end, and we had a beautiful group of people. And most of us just stayed there in the Maloka. Maloka, by the way, it's a space where you hold ceremonies in Peru. And at the end of the ceremony, people would just lay there and just cuddling and sharing love and songs, and I had that sense of wow, this is it, man. This is it. You know,
Sense of connection,
Yeah.
with opening the hearts.
pure and
Yeah.
true, man, and
Yeah.
honest. You know, and that for me, that
Yeah.
you know, it was not only my healing, but also that gave me a lot.
Yeah.
Gave me as much as the plants, maybe in a certain level,
Yeah.
because that level of love and connection that people were sharing there in such a pure and honest way.
Hmm.
I was, you know, I was, I don't know, I don't even have a word
Hmm.
to define that.
Yeah.
It just gave me so much, and yeah, and people were like, "Hey, man, you got something there, you know, just you should go for it." And who knows? And I was like, "Well, yeah, well, let us see what's there in store." So I kept at it, like just practicing some medicine songs. Obviously, I was always playing electric guitar,
Yeah.
and different types of music, and playing in different types of venues. And
So you were listening the medicine songs during the dieta, and it you kind of kept it in your mind, and you started to playing them after the ceremonies.
also,
Yeah.
yeah, we actually had a very good Peruvian musician.
Yeah.
It's one of the most well-known songwriters from the Amazon. His
Okay.
name is Artur Mena.
Hmm.
Much respect to him. And he was playing during our ceremonies, you know. And I had one of the nights where he was playing, and while he was playing, I could see the music.
Hmm.
You know, sometimes you hear the
Yeah.
music and you feel the music.
Yeah.
I could see the music, like I
Yeah.
could see the music.
Yeah.
And that also changed my relationship with music. So, like, as in, music is also a spirit. Music is also an entity. Music is my life for a long time.
It's
And
also
so-
a vibration.
Absolutely, absolutely. So music came and talked to me and said, "Hey, you've been playing me for a long time, but how consciously have you been playing
Yeah.
me for all this time? You've been only playing yourself." As in, you know, I used to play for, you know, different kind
For
of
entertainment.
situations. Yeah, entertainment, absolutely.
Not for healing.
Exactly.
And
Which
that-
music is always healing. Doesn't
Yeah.
matter in which setting, and
Yeah.
doesn't matter what type of music. Some people like reggae, others like rock, others like metal, others like techno. It's music is everything, man. Music is the healing of this planet. So, what was rediscovered in me was that sense of, okay, I can actually use this to help others raise their vibrations in a conscious way. So I was helping people without knowing what I was doing back then, and this shifted into, okay, I'm helping people, and I know I'm helping people, and I'm gonna embody that and do it consciously. So that was the biggest shift that she's done for me in music wise.
And after this realization that, I'm really in my element when I'm playing the medicine songs, what was your next step?
After that, yeah,
Yeah,
so
because many people get, into this bigger visions and, oh, that's what I do, but the execution part is all sometimes is different
yeah.
in real life. When you are out of the ceremony, out of Peru, back in life, what can you do?
Well, for me, what I did was I got my guitar and I was busking on the street because I refused like 400% to go and ask for jobs anywhere else. Because before I went to Peru, I was working all this kind of jobs with people screaming at me and being fast and being on time and being and people talking about people and people being mean to each other and on this money-making society. And I refused to let myself be on that position ever again, man. That's not what I want to do.
Yeah.
So I grabbed my guitar and I was busking on the street. And yeah, it was raining, it was snowing, it was tough. Sometimes I make 20 euros, sometimes I make 10, sometimes I make nothing, sometimes 50, sometimes, I just refused to do anything else. And what I really wanted to do was music. And funny enough, I had one insight one time that the biggest thing that I was doing, playing on the street, was not even the money. The money was just an excuse. What I was doing on the street was some certain kind of healing that I didn't even know. And some people that were walking on the street, and people in big cities, they're always with a frown, and and when I was playing the music, some people would come and they would see me, and they would come with this face, and then they hear the guitar and they see it, and they have this smile on their face, So it's like for that split second, I made a difference in somebody's life. You know, and that's what the plants told me after. Because back then, of course, somebody smiles at you and you smile back and you carry on playing.
Yeah.
But on that case, it was just something that I was helping other people.
Yeah. I shared some love.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Or kids that come with their parents, and and the parents are all distracted or on their phone or whatever. And the kid is like, "Hey, dad or mom or whatever." They just look. And the parents, for a second, they're like, "Oh, yeah, shit, reality, hey." And on that moment, I made the difference on that family's life too. And the kids were playing and dancing, and they come and they always ask that for a coin or whatever, and they come and drop a coin.
Yeah.
And in the end, the money was just I don't know, an excuse for this spiritual work.
Yeah, but it was still challenging because you have to get along financially also in this world.
Yeah, it was tricky, man. It was tricky, especially because then I was living in a place with two beautiful souls, and I had to pay the rent, and they were super lovely to me. Like, as in, they knew what I'm about, and they saw all the process of me coming from working for the corporate and into dedicating myself to music for 100%. And they kind of like, okay, we don't have the money for the rent, just wait another 2 or 3 weeks whenever you have. You can give it. And I always paid the rent. This money was like 2 weeks later or whatever, but I always did.
Yeah.
And then, for my surprise, so this is like a month and a half later after I came from the dieta. So I was playing on the street for all that time. The shaman in which I did the ceremonies with in Peru, he gave me a call. And he asked, "Hey, would you like to come and play in the ceremony?" Because he liked the work I've done there in Peru. And I was like, "Yeah, why not? I mean, let us go, because I was still in that vibration of people, love, connection, those beautiful things that I shared in the jungle with these people." So I just went there, did one ceremony. It was like, okay, well, this is good, man. You want to do another ceremony? I was like, okay, cool. Did another ceremony. And it was amazing, man. It was one of those ceremonies, because you have ceremonies and you have ceremonies. So that was like a ceremony. Yeah. And then he invited me. He said, "Hey, would you like to go and tour Europe with me?" I was like, "Wow, are you kidding me?" I mean, I was playing on the street, dude. I mean, this for me was just like a life-changing moment. Yeah, man. And then I've been touring Europe for the last 3.5 years. Yeah. And I'm going to Peru and coming back and tour and Peru and then come back again, and I've just been living in where I should be. This is my element. This is what I do. So I'm really happy that changed for me. And this was an energetical exchange with the universe as well, because when I put this energy into the universe of like, I want to do music and I want to connect and I want to just be in peace and and share the best that I have to share with the world and with the people around me, then the universe gave me this opportunity, which I'm eternally grateful, man. For real. Yeah.
So you were your main role was a medicine musician, right? Or also as a facilitator, but initially you started as a medicine musician.
In the Ayahuasca world, yes, I started by playing medicine songs, absolutely. But I do not consider myself a medicine musician. Okay. Such as I don't consider myself as a shaman. Okay. I'm a musician, and foremost, which had the great opportunity to get into this medicine field and to work with beautiful people from all over the world, and I learned this practice as well. So I consider myself a human being in service of the plants and the spirit. Absolutely.
And you also learned a lot about the plants, not just the music, right?
Sure, lately, yes.
And all other aspects of organizing and facilitating a ceremony.
Yeah, sure. What happened then after this 3.5 years? Earlier this year, I went to Peru. Did their 2-month curandero initiation course. Yeah. Was really
was this because we can mention it, right? That was the Ayahuasca Foundation.
Sure. Yeah.
So 8 weeks.
8 weeks in the jungle.
In the jungle. Wow. So can you tell us first something about the foundation itself, just shortly? What are they up for?
Yeah, they have a research center
Yeah.
for plants, and they also are providing the Shipibo communities, helping them out as well in many kinds of ways, because we cannot forget these people they come from a different economical status per se.
Yeah.
And they need schools, they need education obviously for the kids, and they need so many things. And people that live deep in the jungle, they need more things that we take them for granted, because in here, in this part of the world, you need something and 5 minutes later you get it.
Yeah.
And in there it's not so they're helping these communities as well. They're facilitating culinary initiation courses with dieting master plans.
Yeah.
And
that's what you participated in.
sure,
right?
yeah. And this is a gift. This is a gift for the world, because if, some shamans could be more like as in protective of their work. This is our thing. This is the native thing. Why are you teaching the gringos how to use the plants and to, but the people from the Ayahuasca Foundation, what they want is to, to spread the healing and the knowledge. This is ancestral knowledge.
Sharing is caring.
Absolutely, man. And you're caring for the whole planet. It's not just, So, with the Shipibo tradition, they are the natives. They do this for thousands of years. But as the times pass, the kids are growing into different societies, and they're leaving the communities. They go to the city because they want to be lawyers or teachers or whatever, which is great. It's beautiful. It's amazing.
Yeah.
But slowly but surely, the Shipibo community is kind of being less and less and less. It's decreasing in population. So this is one of the main things also of the Ayahuasca Foundation, to help the communities, but also share this knowledge with the world. And it's a beautiful thing. It's really one of the best things I've done in my life.
Okay, so it was 8 weeks, and I've seen that every other day there was a ceremony.
Yeah, for 2 months, man.
Wow.
It was
Sounds intense.
Yeah, it was intense. Because it's a lot of things at the same time. You
learn and you participate.
you're drinking like proper drinking.
It's not just
like
theory.
No. So the theory is doing the theory is during the day, which is in every morning we had a lecture, and sharing circles. We had vapor baths. We had walking with the plants to see which plant is which and what do they do. And every day, all day, there was something. Apart from Saturday, Sunday, which were more sharing days, and Sunday was nothing at all. So we could rest. But apart from that, always learning and having lectures with the shaman as well, Don Enrique Lopez, which was a great teacher, and he kind of like set me up in a better direction, because I have 3 phases with ayahuasca, which is the discovery of ayahuasca and going up, and then things went down along the way, and I kind of went down, and I got some kind of I could almost call it a spiritual burnout sort of thing, because there's so much giving and so much giving and so much giving, and receiving very, very. I received a lot. Attention, don't take me wrong. I received a lot from the ceremonies and the traveling and the people, but I found myself depleted in energy.
Yeah.
Due to the vehicle of which I was moving with, and some situations that happened along the way, which I just it happened what happened, and I just let them go easy.
Yeah.
And but that also brought me to a state of seclusion, because the more I was opening myself, the more I needed to retreat. As in, okay, I give myself to the best of my abilities and what I can give. I give for such a long time, and then there came a time that I was needing those hugs, I was needing those words, I was needing that love. And although I have a few people around me that really are solid, and they gave me love and shelter, but this was deeper, because then I got into different realms, because ayahuasca opens you up to the light, but when you cross over to the spiritual realm, it's not only love and light. There's love, there's light, and there's
everything,
darkness, and everything else in between.
Yeah.
So because my energy levels were low, so I got into this low vibrational
spiral down a bit.
Yeah. So that frequency also attracted other low dimensional things, And that was an interesting moment because it was not that I was naive or ignorant. Well, a little bit, because I was just like with arms, open and trusting the universe and the plants that this is all love and light and it's amazing, it's beautiful. It is, but there are other things too. So that was for me the school of that was the dark school. Which it came to my surprise, because up until then I had no experience of that. I thought this was just we were all surfing in this beautiful wave of love and connection, and that's all that was. But no, there was a bit more than that. And
I mean, I also get into these realizations. I get into these realizations sometimes that there is always another side of the coin. Absolutely. Which is also the part of the everything. Like it's like the yin and yang. It's not not for nothing.
Absolutely.
It's the same ball.
Absolutely. And I didn't know. But now I know.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But what I wanted to ask, like you mentioned somewhere that you figured out the power of the Shipibo teachings. And what are the major differences between the mestizo? Am I saying it correctly?
Mestizo.
And the Shipibo traditions, or the way how they work.
Yeah, it's a bit different. It's and again, it's two different cultures. The Shipibo are the natives from the Amazon forest. Then the mestizos came more with with the Spanish invasion, and as the name actually indicates. Yeah, it was a mixed, sort of new race was coming up, sort of thing. But they have different languages. That's number one, and a different relationship with the plants, or with processes of dieting. Difference in how they conduct the ceremony. The Shipibo they use mostly just the singing. Agua Florida, which is flower water, and the Mapacho tobacco, which is natural tobacco, Nicotiana rustica from the jungle as well, to communicate with spirits and also for cleansing and protection. So they all use these three tools: voice, Agua Florida, and the Mapacho, which is super effective, and they established a beautiful relationship with the plants across the centuries. And the mestizo, they also use the tobacco and Florida, but they also use other things. They use more instruments, which I love that. They use guitar, they use drums, they use flutes, frogs, birds. They use lots of instruments. I like that. It's also effective, but for me, I identify myself more with the Shipibo, and I didn't know it until I actually done it. Because I learned through a mestizo. And I love the ceremony. It was a great ceremony because you had the Icaros. Who doesn't know, Icaros are the language of the plants and how they communicate with the spiritual worlds and the plants. And then they drop a guitar in there, and then they drop a drum or a flute. And I was I'm into music, so this for me was super interesting. And what I can do nowadays is like to use per se knowledge of the Shipibo, a little bit of the knowledge of the mestizo, and then my own vision and approach to the work. And it's amazing because I can surf in between these three realms of existence.
That's cool.
And it's amazing, man. I just love music, and the more music I can put in there, the better.
Yeah. And so, what was the biggest takeaway after this eight weeks? You discovered this rawness, the origins of the Shipibo culture, but did you have some more insights about you and what will be the next steps on your mission?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely, because those 8 weeks you don't have time to recover. It's like bang, and then you go bang. It's just like one after the other.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we were dieting some special master plants, which I will not say, but they helped me see other things. Okay. And they shed a lot of light in many things that happened. Yeah. And that then again I had a deeper and deeper understanding about things, you know, and this is an ongoing process, because it doesn't matter how many times you drink the brew. You can drink ayahuasca 100 times, but those 100 times you will learn something else, or you will reconfirm some things that you thought that you knew, and then the plant comes, oh, you thought you knew that, so let me show you a different door here. And but the biggest takeout for me was was to find a different type of discipline, you know, and you know, to walk in beauty with this work that we do, which is so amazing and so profound. So the biggest takeout was for me to learn how to conduct a ceremony from beginning to end, because up until that point I was doing ceremonies, but there was always somebody like in charge of the ceremony, like the captain of the boat per se. And I was just there like, okay, that song, alright, that song, okay. So now I can be that sort of captain, if there is even a captain. The mother is the captain, by the way. But I can, you know, I can do a whole ceremony by myself nowadays. I know how to open a ceremony. I know how to go through the parts of healing and diagnosis of the ceremony, bring different healing plants to come and heal the people, and bring in the mariación. The mariación is when you start to have the process and the visions and feeling nauseous, and that's called the mariación. To bring the mariación in, or to cut the mariación, or to you know, there's different knowledge. I can now manage myself through those, you know, fields, and yet I don't know anything, man. I learned it, and I'm learning as I go, because the biggest teacher is the medicine itself, you know. And you can never say that you know. I mean, you know a bit more every time, and every time there's something else to learn. And when you learn, you just be thankful, and that's the currency of the spiritual realm, and with the plants as well. It's love and gratitude. So that's why I don't consider myself, and I don't think I have a role to consider myself a shaman or a curandero or an healer. I don't know. It comes with the times, man. I'll see, because I'll carry on this path. That's something that I have really.
It's a process. It's an ongoing process.
It doesn't end,
as you mentioned.
It doesn't end.
Yeah, and so let's say, I guess after these experiences, maybe the integration itself is also like ongoing for a long time. But what was the most needed time to kind of recover a bit after that 8 weeks?
When was it needed?
How long time was needed to recover a bit? You know, I guess for after 8 weeks, after 8 intense weeks like that, it's not too easy to get back to the real. I mean, this other life, other reality.
Yeah, I'm not back yet.
Yeah. Okay.
I guess I never will. Oh man, that was so intense. You know, and then when I came back, this new project that I'm working with as well kind of kick-started. Yeah. So it was just like I flew into this. Yeah. So, but you know, I integrate as I go. Yeah. Obviously, I have also my days, because nowadays I praise a lot my solitude, and I like to be alone. Whereas before I used to be in the noise all the time, or this friend or that friend, have this friend over, or that party, that dinner, and this event, that event. But now I'm more like, you know, just leave me alone. I'm cool. So and when I have this alone times, I can reintegrate. I write, I play music, I walk in the forest, I just lay down, I meditate, breath work. I just find all these methods of grounding myself into coming back to this reality, because it's very easy to get a little bit lost in this world of medicines. Because if you're drinking constantly, you're constantly going, you're constantly leaving your body, you're constantly out there.
Yeah, I did a rough estimation. You mentioned somewhere that you had around 280, 300 ceremonies. At least, if we put it in a time frame, it's like in every 4 or 5 days, one ceremony for 4 years or three,
Wow.
3.5, 4 years. That's you.
Well done, man. Yeah. How can I say, man? Yeah, mostly because of the tours. They were like,
Yeah, because those who are facilitating, they also take a
yeah.
portion, right?
It's good to be in the same realm of the plants and the same energy level as well as the participants are. We are all on this spaceship. We go together.
Yeah. And before we get back from entirely from Pucallpa and the jungle, can you, because I have never been in the jungle, so can you share us some insights or the experience? How did it feel to be actually first Pucallpa and Iquitos? What those places look like, or what is to be like there? Because they are in the middle of the jungle somewhere in a remote area, so you can just fly in, or there is not real road there. Not.
No, in Iquitos you can only get by plane or boat. Yeah. So that's special in itself. But yeah, starting in the beginning. The first time I went to Pucallpa, and it was kind of like, I never been in South America before.
Yeah.
So for me, the first time I went to Pucallpa, and especially to do something so big, it was like a movie, man. It was wow. And to see all these people and their society over there, and the way the Westerners trying to exploit as well, and also calling it like a third world country, whatever that means.
Yeah.
And to see the beauty and the humbleness of these people really provoked something in me. So you see, the whole trip is a healing journey. Every step of the way is a healing journey, and even the people there, the Peruvians, they are so beautiful and kind. Yeah. And although they are poor per se, I think they're richer than many people who have money, because it's people that they are pure and honest, and they smile at you because they smile at you, because that's what's in their heart. It's not because of anything else, unless they want to sell you something too. That also happens.
So the commerce is also getting there slowly but surely.
These people, they don't have money, man. They don't have money. So that's how they subsist, and that's the tourists that come in, because nowadays there's a lot of tourism for ayahuasca ceremonies. There's a lot of people from all over the world. Yeah. America, England, Europe, China, Russia. I don't know, from all over the place. Australia, a lot of Australians there too. Yeah. So this is something that really helps establish a new economic basis for the people from those areas. So Pucallpa was special because for me that was a turning point in my life. So I'll forever cherish that city. Yeah.
And the jungle. How was it in the jungle, to be in the jungle for 2.5 weeks?
Surreal to say the least. Because the Amazon forest, you always heard about the Amazon forest since you were a kid, or you saw it on BBC or on National Geographic and all this type of stuff, and the animals and the plants and the trees and the rivers, and so to be there was like, wow, I'm actually in the Amazon. When I was going there, I knew I was going to the Amazon, but it wasn't until I got there that I was like, shit, I'm actually on the Amazon. And that vibration, it's the jungle itself, it's healing you. Yeah. All that purity and the air you breathe, and the animals you see occasionally, and that it's hard to put this into words. Yeah. You have to kind of go there to experience it for yourself. It's just it's a massive experience, man, for real. Even if you wouldn't do medicine, just to be there would be a really interesting.
For me, even just go to the forest, and I'm coming back always as a changed, like a calm and relaxed. I can imagine it's amplified with
by a million.
By a million.
Yeah, because actually it's therapy.
Yeah.
To walk.
That's our natural habitat, not the concrete buildings.
No.
We get stressed out by default from being here, actually.
Absolutely, man. So this is kind of a return home kind of thing, because that's the birth of all species per se.
So then you you came back, and then the other work began. To work and lead ceremonies. and you are still in that process and doing that too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Super interesting.
Yeah.
Super interesting. We just had a retreat last weekend.
Yeah.
And I'm still kind of in the space of of the medicine, which is great.
And
I mean, I'm so happy, man. This
Yeah.
is just the best thing ever.
And what, according to your experience, what do people expect from these ceremonies?
What they should expect
Yeah, what is their expectation when they come?
when they come.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, I guess everybody's just expecting the same thing. It's love, man.
love,
Love,
and also like is it there a dimension like people wanna feel that there is much more beyond this materialism, because when they have an insight that there is something more than only this and the darkness when they die, then it also gives them a kind of relief of being scared that I'm gonna end up in a box buried in the
6 feet under somewhere.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. You know, that's everybody. People come from different reasons. Most come from for healing. And some people also come for connection.
Yeah.
Because this is also a great vehicle for you to connect to your higher self and to higher realms, you know. And you can meet your guardian angels. You can meet your guides. You can meet, you know, your ancestors, because your ancestors are always with you. Your family line, they're always with you. Doesn't matter wherever you go, whatever you do, they're always with you, protecting you and guiding you.
Also on a genetic level, but also on a spiritual level.
Absolutely, they are there.
Yeah.
We don't perceive it as such because you know, we live in this 3D world, this little human brain of ours. We don't perceive things that way. But you know, it's you have everything. You have the healing part and the learning part.
Yeah.
So it's an ongoing thing. So people come for most various reasons, and once they heal certain things that they need to heal, then the learning comes, and then after you learn some more, you're gonna grow in a different direction, and then you're gonna find other things, things that are really gonna guide you on the right direction. Because let's say when you came to do a retreat, you were in a low level. Then you will heal something in you, something really significant. Then you're gonna go another level up. So that's kind of out of the way. So that will give you grounds to work on different things on yourself that you didn't know that they were even there, because you had this massive block. So once those blocks are removed, then your level of connection is more clear. So you can just go into different fields of possibilities of creation for your life and for others, for you, for your family, for your friends, for everything. Man, that's
cool. Actually, that was original question what I had, is that is it mostly healing or self-exploration, or it goes separate, or is the same, or do they go together?
well,
but yeah, we kind of answered it.
It doesn't end as well. The self-exploration part, it never ends, because there's always more. The possibilities are infinite, and you just keep on going. It's just like a mission. And then there's also the situation which is you come, you do what you gotta do, or what you think you gotta do, and then you just move on with your life. Which was that was my plan with my when I first came in to do ceremonies, and then I went to the jungle for the first time. I just I'm gonna go there, I'm gonna take care of whatever I need to take care of, and then I'm gonna move on with my life and doing whatever. And then it just happened that, you know, the medicine kind of liked me, and she chose me to do this work. So I was really thankful for that.
Yeah. So we can say that whatever is your experience, your life is gonna change.
Yes, it's gonna change. It's gonna change. It's gonna change. There's two sides to that, or more than two. Some people can get more confused as well. You know, and in one sense, it gives you a lot of clarity and order, and you see where you want to go, and you really find your true essence and your true self, and you finally align yourself with your purpose in this planet. Or some people depending where they are mentally as well, because you know there's a lot of factors that may condition it an ayahuasca ceremony.
Yeah.
So you can get also more confused because you're gonna open some boxes that have been closed for so many years, and when that information is out there in front of your eyes, you might not be ready to understand it. So although I believe that most people on this planet should try it, I also know and I'm conscious that some people shouldn't go anywhere near that because maybe it's not for them. And how do you know if you are ready for that or not? It's about the calling. If you hear a calling deep in your heart that you feel like, hey, maybe this is something for me and for my family, man. It's just family is everything. That's something that I knew it before, but now I know it even more. You know, so if you feel that deep calling within yourself that you can change something significant in your life, then just come and do it. If you don't feel it and you want to do it because you just want to get high or to have a trip or to have fun or something, then just don't do it. That's because you're not ready for it, and it might work against you rather than for you.
Yeah, and there is a lot of stuff, a lot of good information available online.
Absolutely.
Where people can research and see. There are many new institutions popped up in the last couple of years, in the last 5 to 10 years, right? Because these kind of researches were kind of frozen for 40 years or so, but lately it's coming up more and more.
More and more, yeah.
Especially because, it's also an entrepreneurial podcast. Guys or dear listeners, or viewers, don't get illusion that creativity and all of this technological innovation is coming from just the air. All of those guys in Silicon Valley, in California, they are into the self-exploration. Burning Man. So
you name it.
Yeah, you name it. Yeah, Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
You know, some people said it's a common thing that Elon Musk came up with the idea of a solar city on Burning Man. Guess what he was doing at Burning Man? Maybe he was not doing ayahuasca, but as we said, there is an industry behind and there's a lot of research, and we can assume pretty strongly that all of those billionaires, they don't wanna mess up their brains.
Yeah, man.
So back to these institutions, it's a very interesting part because you were in June, you were at the ICEERS meetup, the World Ayahuasca Conference.
Yes, yeah.
So can you tell us something about ICEERS itself and what was the purpose of this conference and what was your takeaway and impressions?
Yeah, well, so the conference, that was a special event. That was really special in every level. You know, the ICEERS, they are helping, and shedding light on this medicines and doing more and more research.
One sec, I just say the long name, the International Center for Ethnobotanical Education, Research and Service.
Yes.
Okay.
So.
So it's totally official.
It's clear. Yeah, no, these people are doing amazing works on the problem of plant medicine and integration and seeing the therapeutic value of the plants, and they're also supporting with the legal side of things because whether we want it or not, this is still an illegal plant in this parts of the world. So they are helping and shedding lights, with scientific studies as well. It's not just saying this is good just because it's good. No, they have research and they have scientists studying, and they're making this big event, the Aya 2019, to also bring more and more information out there. So most of the people obviously that were there, they are people who did medicine or are doing medicine, facilitators and different cultures, so traditions of the plant medicine, but also to bring awareness into this situation because it's a thing.
Because the therapeutic properties are undoubtable. They are like
Absolutely.
clear science on that.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And,
with results.
absolutely. And this is what they are bringing onto light.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. And they're also supporting the indigenous communities. So there was a lot of indigenous people there from the Uniquin tribe, from lots of tribes of Brazil, Colombia, Peru, Ecuador as well. So they're also reivindicating their calling to humanity, as in help us out. They are destroying us. And for me, the idea is to facilitate a space in where these people can come and express their concerns and their needs for the societies and for their children, for the next generations. It's crucial. And it was just an amazing, inspiring event in which I learned a lot from many different aspects of the medicine fields, and met a lot of people that are working with this medicine as well from different parts of the world, and people are releasing books, medicine songs, visionary art painters, presenters, teachers. So it was just a whole another level of understanding of the medicine. Also, was not, because there's the medicine which is on the field, which are called on the field, which is there in the ceremony and in the dark and with the buckets and where all this stuff goes down. And then there's the part behind, which people don't really see. It's coming up to light now, so it's good to see that they are coming, this with legal with the legal aspects of it as well, and not only the normal chatter or blah blah blah. It's they are working on this hands on, and hopefully in the next few years we're gonna have a more tolerated environment where these medicines can be administered with people with care and safety guidelines, and to do it in a ceremony context, and to
responsible use.
Exactly. Because you also don't want everybody to get their hands on this medicine like that. Because once you lose the sacredness of this medicine, then it's not going to serve any purpose anymore. And the traditional way to use it is on a ceremony context. So if you can provide those grounds for people to really, do this in the open, then it will be less, it will be less dangerous per se, because nowadays anybody can cook the brew or order it and just serve it without any safety protocols or any guarantees that the medicine is good for you or whatnot. So I think it's beautiful work what they're doing there.
Yeah, and all entire cultural acceptance, and also like slowly but surely injecting it in the culture for new generations, how it should be done. So there's a lot of aspects.
Absolutely. It was a great event all in all, and I was able to play a song there, so a couple of songs there, so was really happy for it. So it was all in all was a good learning point as well, so I'm really happy, man.
Okay, so we have indigenous cultures, sacred plants, but also institutions and entrepreneurs. So the world is getting on plant medicines more and more. It's happening.
It is.
So
it is.
Actually, I asked most of the questions what I had. So although I don't really have the questions listed, but the bullet points. Do you have anything to share with the people? One more question. What is the next step?
Next step.
Shinankibikanova Kaya Kibikanova Kaya Kibikanova Bewa Bewa Kakina Matona Shombanonki Ashonina Bewa Ashon Shamanda Ashon Shamanda Natoi Bokaya Natoi Bokaya Matonyura Meabo Zoabaim Barivan Goshoy Bokaya Choka Choka Bahima Mi Winkas Buribi Mi Winkas Buribi Cholo Cholo Bahiki Cholo Cholo Bahiki Cholo Cholo Shamaki no yara autoribo no yara autoribo Jangani da bewai Jangani da bewai Jangani da bewai
Cool. So people can find you nowadays at the Etsy frequency.
Yes, I can find it on the
We're gonna
Book of
put
Faces.
we're gonna put in the links in the description.
Awesome. Yeah.
Thank you very much for the music,
Thank you.
for the singing,
Yeah.
and yeah, let's shift the paradigm.
Yes, man. About time.
Yeah. Cool.
Thank you for having me here, man. It's
Thank you for coming.
totally
Long way.
a pleasure. This just came out of the blue, and
Hmm.
happy days, man.
Cool.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Say hi to the people.
Hey. Love, man. That's it.
Ciao, ciao.
Watch out, man.